Kobe Bryant didn't accidentally fall into having a great jump shot. He had a blueprint. And once you understand this, you stop guessing why your shot feels off, because every part of his jumper had a purpose. So in today's video, we're going to break down 4 key components that all youth basketball players can add to their blueprint that help Kobe master his jump shot. Let's dive into it. So the first thing you want to pay attention to is where his hands are at on the basketball. So you can see here, his shooting hand is underneath the middle of the basketball, but you can also see with his guide hand, his fingertips are creeping near the middle of the basketball and it's not too low. So you can see as he's going to release the ball, his guide hand just simply peels off the ball, but he's pushing through the middle with mainly these 2 fingers here. The outside fingers are mainly there just to kind of help balance and stabilize the ball, but he's pushing through the middle to direct the ball to the rim with mainly these 2 fingers right here. When you can have proper hand placement on the ball like this is what will allow you to shoot the ball straighter. And being able to shoot the ball straight is just one of 3 things that affect whether your shot goes in or not. But the real question is, which one are you struggling with? If you want to find out, check the link in the description and take our free Swish Decoder Quiz. It will give you personalized results on what's specifically holding your shot back. The second thing I want you guys to pay attention to is his flick and pinch. You can see here, every single time he releases the basketball, how firm of a wrist flick he has. It's not floppy, it's not bouncing up and down. A lot of youth players have these problems. When they go to release the ball, they don't have a firm wrist flick. Like I said, it's floppy, it's going from left to right, so it's not as secure. When they go to release the ball, now the ball can kind of drift in whatever direction. Also, you can see when he's releasing the basketball, so as he's flicking his wrist, he's pinching his fingers. So his index finger, his middle finger, and his thumb are all kind of coming together as he's flicking his wrist, and that's just a funneling technique to make sure the ball is coming off those 2 fingers last, the middle finger and the index finger, and making sure that ball is going as straight as possible. Now, the next thing we're going to break down is his high set point. You can see when the ball gets to his set point, it's at or above his forehead. This is what we can consider a higher set point. Now, some of the most important things about this is you can see that his wrist is underneath the middle of the basketball, but also the ball is not going behind his head. So it's just at his forehead or well above. These are the crucial things we want to be able to have with our higher set point. Now, where this can come into play with youth basketball is a lot of you guys are going to eventually hit a growth spurt. So the shooting form that you had when you were 10, 11, 12 years old might not suit your new body when you guys hit that growth spurt. Your arms are going to be longer, torso is going to be longer, so you're going to be having different dimensions that you can now work with. So elevating, getting higher with that set point might help you guys in the long run with your jump shots. Now, where Kobe's jump shot really thrived was in the mid-range. Here, he was able to elevate and hang. Being able to get into the mid-range where you're closer to the rim, but you also have to shoot over top of defenders trying to block your shot, it's critical to be able to elevate nice and high, but also have a little bit of that hang time so you can have a balanced shot, but also have great touch when you tie in that high set point. By elevating high, you've done all you can to raise above those defenders, but when you hang in the air and you almost shoot at the peak of your jump shot while tying in that high set point, that's going to allow you to take some of that power off your shot. Where the youth run into issues here in the mid-range is trying to take power off their shot. They try to do it in 2 different ways. One, they just don't jump as high because they think if I jump too high, I'm gonna have too much power. So now they jump lower. Now you can't elevate over top of that defender. The second way is they almost shoot it the same way they would shoot their 3-point shot, which means they have way too much power in their shot because they're too close to the rim. By extending that set point just a little bit higher, kind of like Kobe, above your forehead, now you're going to naturally take power off your shot because the ball is further away from your body. Now, this doesn't mean you change your form of how you release the ball and flick your wrist. The ball is just a little bit further away from your body, so now you have less power going into that shot. So it's not about shooting exactly like Kobe Bryant, but it's more about understanding how his shot was built and how the different pieces were connected. So once you build your blueprint, everything else becomes more consistent.